Decision. I'll make this super quick. I've had over 50 jobs in my life. My dad put a gun to his head 2 years ago. My mom had a heart attack in front of me. My 5th grade niece tried to kill herself. I went from a spoiled brat to homeless. I've been in alternative school over 5 times from junior high to high school, so I know what it feels like. But within those 50 jobs, I had no idea what I was going to do. Here I am sitting across the counter literally 2 months ago from a Yale graduate and somebody from UCLA, and they have no idea what they're going to do in life. There's a problem. But instead of focusing on the problem, we focus on the solution. And it's about what you learn. These decisions you make, you're young. Your frontal lobe, your brain is not ready yet. So putting drugs on top of this thing, guess what? Irrational behavior. Those thoughts that you think at night when you can't sleep, they're not who you are. They're not. Those painful thoughts are going to go and they're going to evolve. If you look back 2 years ago from today, you were a whole totally different person, weren't you? You've grown a lot in 2 years, and guess what? You're going to grow a lot again in the next 2 years, in the next 2 years, in the next 2 years. But what I learned in these 50 jobs is life-changing. I said, I don't love my job yet, but I know where I'm headed. That's what I felt for so long, but now I'm glad that I said it. Everything that is done at work is just a part of my plan. It's a plot to expand my life. Now I'm my #1 fan. I didn't grow up to live at home. I believed I'd have a house in the mountains, by the ocean sipping Pellegrino, but I've been drinking out of the fountain. Rich people driving through my work, so much cash, they can't count it. I bet the money's up to their necks. Any higher and they may start drowning. See, if we started searching, I may have found it. Most find it hard to believe. Working this dead-end job has not inspired me. It's taken my dream. Almost impossible to achieve, and this education will fix my problems. I can't believe it's gotten to the point where I've got to hire someone else to solve them. There's got to be another way to live the life I've always imagined. Like an imagination is what it takes to act like I already have it. If it seems real, reach out and grab it. If not, I've got to create it. Imagining what I want to see is exactly what I need to make it. So how do I get started? Do I need to find another place to work? Or could I easily change my values and notice exactly what life is worth? See, there's no more time to waste. I must get going as soon as I can. I must become self-motivated. Now I become my #1 fan. See, I'm sure we've all reached the point when life, it feels so overwhelming. And that's just life at the house. Work and school, it's not even helping. See, if I can find a way to put all my problems in order, I find the solutions one by one, I can move myself away from the border. I've got to stop being a hoarder. Problems every day, I bring them to work. It's almost everyone's taking my pain like I'm feeling pain as a clerk. See, sometimes I think my life is hard, but then I see others way worse. But when chimes break pain and it frees my mind, I've got to relax on this earth. From now on, I will believe that this job or this school that I have is the best. This place becomes a stepping stone for building my family. Love my life, and I'll never rest. See, failure is no longer an option. When freedom sails, I'm on that boat. I'm not standing in front trying to stop them. Every day and every way, I'll become stronger and stronger. Tony Robbins' words leaking through my veins. There's nothing in life I can't conquer. See, I've got to keep my mind focused on myself through positive self-motivation. Becoming my #1 fan has been the only problem I've been facing. We have a marker? I just need to write something down. Y'all got something to write with or no? I want y'all to write this down. This is nothing. It's not a quote. This is FAFSA.gov. Anybody know what this is? That's your future. Literally, this website will literally change everything for you. The government gives money away for people that want it, for people in school, for people that are going through things and they think there's no hope. The money starts over on the 1st of January, which means if you apply now and you get denied, you can apply again after January when they redisperse another billions of dollars for you to go to college. The earlier you apply and the more you get in tune with what you're doing, the more habits you're creating, you're reaching for your future. You don't have to wait until you graduate to make a move. What Madison was talking about was about interning. That is a golden nugget right there. Because as I said, I'm standing across the counter from UCLA graduates. They have no idea what they want to do. But all they had to do was intern while they were in middle school and high school and even college, and they would have figured it out. Oh man, I'm going to school for psychology. Let me go intern and let me go volunteer my time at a psychiatrist's office to see if it's for me. Because when you spend that time in college, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, it's not like you're stuck, but you just have 8 years and now you don't want to be a psychologist. So what you're going through right now is temporary. And your decisions, literally your decisions that you make right now are going to paint your future, not your past. So if you keep looking back, guess what? You're going to go back. If you keep looking forward, guess where you're headed? You're going forward. So wherever you keep your eyes is where you're going. So stop looking back. And if somebody tries to bring up, oh, you know what you did last week? You know, this is coming from the person that got in trouble. This is, say, look, that's an old me. This is the new me. You with me? I speak to schools all across the country about bullying and educate kids on mental health. When y'all think of mental health, what do you think of? Crazy people? Street crazy? Yeah. Right? Mental health? Through the mental? Anybody know mental illness? What? Depression? What else? Schizophrenia? Right? Personality disorder? You know what mental health is about? It's not about the bad or those illnesses that take over people's minds. It's also about the good. Mental health is also about falling in love with yourself and about having self-esteem and confidence. As I speak about bullying, I'm not asking the bullies to stop bullying. I'm asking you to start thinking more confidently about yourself. Because the problem's not the bullies, it's the students that are getting bullied that go and try to kill themselves. That's the problem. So I'm not here to talk about something you need to stop. I'm talking about spreading love. And here's why. Your body needs it. I recently discovered something 3 weeks ago that was like, oh my gosh, at 3 a.m. in the morning, I woke up, I started writing this and that, I'm like, just like that. I mean, there's literally the song came and played and everything. I put it on YouTube. It was awesome. But guess what I learned? We have hormones inside of our body. I call it a dose. We have dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. These 4 hormones are literally within our bodies all the time, and sometimes never. Endorphins is that whenever you're running or you're working out, your body's, look, you need to keep going. Those endorphins kick in. They put you in overdrive. They're protecting you. But the one I really want to talk about is oxytocin. Oxytocin is that love hormone. I feel good. If somebody's giving me attention, if I feel in love, if somebody really cares about me, oxytocin is in my body. I feel great. There's somebody in your life right now, whether it's your uncle, your aunt, your grandma, your mom, whoever, that when you're around them, it's like all your problems go away because you feel loved. Right? So then you have a thing, so we're going to circle oxytocin over here because it's awesome. And then we have another thing that's called cortisol. Anybody know what cortisol is? Some people call it stress, right? Stress is not a bad thing. Too much stress is a bad thing. But stress is actually meant to save your life, believe it or not. And if you learn to listen to stress, it can point you in the right direction of where your problems are. And if you're aware that your problems are there, and you start conditioning your mind that where the problems are coming from, guess what? Problems don't exist anymore. They literally dissipate and gone. Because you're avoiding them naturally. And at a young age, I wish I would have learned this, and you're great, are you kidding me? If I would have just known this little simple process, are you kidding me? And some of you are like, man, this dude's on something right now. And I am. I'm called life. I'm high on oxytocin. I love myself so much that cortisol doesn't dare to come next to me. It doesn't. For real. It really doesn't. Because that's what happens. Cortisol, as one of my, a guy that I really love, his name's Simon Sinek, he says, if there's gazelle in the middle of the, right here, but if there's cortisol like in the brush, or if there's a gazelle, and there's a whole pack of gazelle, and they hear something, one of them goes, they all go, they see a lion, they run away, good stuff, right? Cortisol just saved those gazelles' life. So cortisol is meant to come in your body, and it's meant to leave your body. Well, when cortisol's in your body, guess what? It shuts down oxytocin. Oxytocin not only makes you feel good and you love yourself, but your body's healing itself. So guess what? When you're stressed out, your body can't heal. Isn't that a trip? That's a trip, right? Are you kidding me? That's a trip. Think about it. If you're stressed out, your body can't heal. And guess what? All you need is love. That's it. You gotta love yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you go to sleep and you put your head on that pillow or on the ground or wherever you sleep, doesn't matter. You gotta love yourself. You do. You have no choice. Your life depends on it. Literally. So what I realized in this discovery at 3 a.m. is that cortisol disables oxytocin. Okay. What happens when you flood your body with oxytocin? What happens to the cortisol? Boom! Cortisol just goes away. So guess what? So you're thinking the cuddle hormone is like love and hugs, and guess what? If you were to take your entire focus right now and put it on me, what I'm saying, how I'm walking, how I'm doing, you're focusing in this moment. You're here with me right now. I have every single one of your eyes, and that's how I know that you're listening. And just by listening to me and being close to me like this, you're in this moment and your body's feeling up right now. And if you can't feel those amazing feelings, you need to shut that cortisol down. It's like, hold up, man. Those cortisol right now is slowly going away, isn't it? Here's what I discovered. It is biologically impossible to feel loved and stressed at the same time. It's impossible. You have to pick one. So would you rather live your life stressed out, making irrational decisions, adding drugs to that? Or would you rather just love and feel love? You know? So I used to get picked on, you know? I was one of those kids that people bullied a lot. That's why I am the way I am today. So somebody walked up to me and I got these shoes and this girl was wearing my shoes. They're like, oh, you wearing girl shoes? And I was like, eh. And then they jumped me in 6th grade, 7th grade, and I was that guy, right? So one day, I literally was crying in my shower. I was thinking about suicide. And I was like, you know, and I thought about like doing all this stuff. I was like, I just want to end it, right? So I didn't know what I was thinking. I was irrational. My brain wasn't developed. I didn't even know what oxytocin was. But here's what I realized. What if I agree with people? What if I give this bully some compliments? Right? If this bully is stressed out, because that's why he's coming after me, what happens if I love this person? So they're like, man, you wear girl shoes. I'm like, man, these are girl shoes? Man, I got a deal on these, though, right? Where'd you get your shoes at? I like those things. Beat up to the punch. Oh, man, you broke your stuff. Yeah, but that's just temporary, man. Not everybody has money like you. Right? You with me? So guess what happens when you love and you share oxytocin? No bully dares to mess with you. Because their cortisol barrier's up. You have like a love bubble around you, and they're like, well, I can't survive in that thing. You with me? And that's real. Because this bullying doesn't stop here. It goes into businesses, and there's business bullies. They're called corporate bullies. And there's people at work, and if you don't kiss this person's butt, then you're going to lose your job. And guess what? If you go to work and you're scared to lose your job, cortisol is filled up to your body. And when you're doing something that you don't love and you're stressed out, your body's breaking down. Illnesses, sicknesses, all types of weird stuff. You're sick all the time. Why do you think the most boring and painful jobs have the most sick time? They prepare for it. And what's even crazier is they know that half of you aren't going to show up. That's why in management there's a term called shrinkage. They schedule 50 people to show up, but only 40 will, and they know that. They're setting you up. They know what they're doing. But what I say is this is the generation that changes everything. For real. Like for real, for real. This is that generation that changes everything. The generation that brings hope back to the world. That can change the way the news looks. That changes the way the newspapers are. That changes magazines. That changes social media. It's a whole new outlook. That changes the way people dress, the way people act, the way people look, the way people talk, the way people communicate. This is the generation that does that. And it's not something you're going to see on TV. You're not going to see this message everywhere you go. Unless you focus your attention on it. And so that's what I'd ask you to do. Is take a deep breath and say, you know what, I'm going to be all right. This stress is not going to get the best of me. In fact, and here's why this makes sense. Albert Einstein said energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only change from one form to another. So if I'm a really negative person or really sad or angry all the time, I can't just be like, be positive, buddy. It'll work out for you. No. It doesn't work like that. It's temporary. That stuff will last 2 days, 3 days, and you're back to losing your mind. You have to literally let go of that pain and accept some love. You have to convert that into. That's what our organization does. We're the Get Real organization. Get ridiculously excited about life. And you're going to see us in schools all across the country next semester. We're partnering with the NFL. They see this as a huge deal because it is. It's not something that time can waste. Your life literally depends on it. And just this little bit of information that we can squeeze into 15 minutes, imagine a 6-week program. Imagine an all-day event. Imagine back when you were in elementary school and they had field day, but now it's all about learning about yourself. That's what we do. Is there anybody here that would want to know more about themselves, to see how they act, see what they react, see what I like? Like, anybody want to know what the heck they want to do when they graduate? Blink your eyes or something, right? I don't need hands to see that. I can see it in your eyes.